A lot of women today are trying to understand why men are no longer committing to them or committing to the idea of a relationship. And to me, it's really not that hard to understand. If I'm going to blame anything, I'm going to start with just the wave of feminism. I think it pushed an individualism type of ideology for women to where women don't need men, women are independent, women are on the same playing field as men, women can do everything that a man can do. And I think when they put women in that space, men no longer saw them as partners or people that we should protect and keep safe. Now it's more like you're the same as me. If we're going to provide the same things in a relationship, why do I need you? Why do I need a woman if she doesn't do any of the womanly like things that they used to do in the past? Today, women don't want to cook. They got a problem if you expect them to cook. It's almost like an insult for you to think of a woman cooking in the kitchen or cleaning in the kitchen or taking care of the children. We have like made that a negative thing for women, and women have now taken on roles that are much more like men. And in that case, I don't need another male in my house that I'm competing with. I don't need to clash heads with somebody. We all need to have our own specific roles that we excel in. A man provides his resources, he provides his safety, he provides his protection, he provides his knowledge, his wisdom, his leadership. Now, women are supposed to be more the nurturers. They're supposed to keep the home clean, take care, make sure that we're fed, take care of the children, raise the children. But those practices have been lost over the years. And women have really rejected the roles that they used to play. You know, Men don't have that privilege. As men, we still have to provide. We still have to protect. If you listen to women, those are the type of men that they look for. They still want us to play our role, our positions in being providers, protectors, and leaders, but they no longer want to fulfill the roles that they were designed to fill. And I don't want to say all women. I'm just talking about in general, on a whole. You know, each case by case. Women are different, but the exception is not the rule because you may live up to the practices of how a woman should be in a house. That doesn't mean most women are behaving that same way. So I'm talking in generalities. I'm not talking to every woman individually. um so I just think it's been lost, these roles. And if I look at myself, I'm more traditional. I prefer us to have roles. I prefer to be a provider. I prefer to protect. That's just in my nature. I look at myself as an alpha. So I look to provide those things. That's something that's given. You don't have to tell me to do it. You don't have to ask me to do it. I do it because it's in my nature. If I am not able to provide for my family, I feel less of a man. I feel less than, I feel less of a man. I should be able to do those things. But if you look at a woman and if you look at a woman to cook and ask her to cook and she can't cook, she's insulted. She's like, I don't need to know how to cook. You should know how to cook. Now they want men to know how to cook. So we got to provide, protect, cook, and raise the children. Like, if I got to do all that by myself, then what do I need a woman for? A woman's supposed to be our helpmate, supposed to be our backbone, our support system. But they're no longer putting themselves in positions where they're supporting us. They're now looking to be babied, where they talk about this whole princess treatment. Like, when did women want to become baby? As a woman, don't you want to become a queen? Why would you ever put yourself in a role of a princess? That's like me putting myself in a role as a prince. No, I want to be a king. A queen, and I think it's because women don't want to have responsibilities. As a princess, you don't have responsibilities. You don't have duties. You don't have to do anything. Everything is done for you. Versus a queen has responsibilities. She's in charge of certain things. There's things that she specializes in, and then she's supposed to do those things well. And I think women have placed themselves in these princess roles because they just don't want responsibilities. They want everything to be given to them. They don't want to have to work. They say they want to be stay-at-home moms, but really they don't want to work. They don't even really want to be stay-at-home moms. They just don't want to do anything. They rather you give them money and they go spend their money at the store or something. Or they go on these lavish vacations so they can post on IG. Because let's be real, who does that? That's mainly women. Remember, I'm talking in generalities. So that's not every woman, but if you were to look at all the big influencers that are women, they're traveling most of the time. And they're not traveling on their own dime. You have never seen in one picture, one photo, any of these women working or talking about work. So there's some man that's on the background, that's in the back, that's behind the scenes, paying for this life for her, paying for all these expensive trips and vacations. There's some man who's actually fulfilling his role in being a provider. Either he's being a provider or a simp. I don't know. You choose. But I mean, it ain't tricking if you got it. If you got the money, what is it to spend it? But there's some man who's doing his role on the back, on the behind the scenes, actually providing, but she's not doing anything except traveling, posting food, posting pictures in bikinis, posting all these provocative pictures so she can have a whole bunch of men in her DMs. Like, those women are just so non-attractive to me. Like, you could be beautiful but still be so not attractive. So not attractive to, like, where I see those type of women out in the real world or in dating apps, I'm swiping left every time. Every time, because I can look at them and know the type of lifestyle that comes with them or what they're going to expect. They're going to expect you to pay for everything, their nails, their hair, like they're going to want you to baby them, princess them. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, you're a grown woman. I do not want to be your daddy in that sense. I don't want to be your provider in that sense, where I'm just giving you money to live some grand life that I can't even live myself because I'm focused on working to make that money. What kind of sense does that make? Yo, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to live that life, not you. I'm not going to work hard to give you those dollars so you can live that kind of life. Shorty, I'm going to live that life myself if I'm making that money. So the women today, like, you really have to pick good ones. You really have to get an understanding of these women before you get into something long term with them and you get stuck because you end up having a child with them. Don't attach yourself to these women. Strap up. Do not attach yourself to these kind of women, but they're going to be a thorn in your side your entire life. I have dated very pretty women. And most men, they want a pretty woman because they want a trophy girl. They want a girl that can showcase and show other dudes, yeah, I got this fine chick with me. Like, so many men want a trophy girl, but they're not prepared for the headache that comes along with them. Like, I have been so disgusted, like, with pretty women. I could think they're beautiful, but they are so annoying that I'd rather just not deal with them at all because they add no value. At the end of the day, you want somebody who adds value to your life. How do they add value to you? How do they make you better? If all they do is take from you, they're not adding. They're subtracting from your life. They're draining you. So I don't need anything or anyone in my life that's going to take from me. I only want people that's going to pour into me, whether that's a relationship, a partner, or a friend. Those are the only kind of people I want in my life that are going to pour into me, make me a better individual, or help lift me to become a great individual. And that's what a woman is supposed to do. She's supposed to be your support system. She's supposed to help lift you to greater heights, not be the roadblock, not be the one pulling you from your greatness. You know, so we have to be smarter about the women that we choose. And women, once again, I'm talking in generalities. I'm not saying that all women are like this. So if you're watching this and you're not like this, you're doing great. You're going to find you a good man. He's going to recognize you, because that's what I look for now. I look for the women that have those qualities. Like, she can be pretty. I want her to be pretty. I want her to be good looking. Of course, to me, that's subjective. You know, I want somebody that's attractive to me. She doesn't need to be drop dead gorgeous, but I would love for her to have all the other attributes that makes me want to stay with her, where she adds to me. She adds value to me. If she can't cook, she's willing to learn how to cook. I can cook. But it's not about you not knowing how to cook. It's about your willingness to learn. Do you want to know? I would value a woman who wants to learn. It's okay to not have it all, but be able to be coachable, be able to listen. Like, you want a man to lead, yet when a man tries to lead, all you get is combativeness. You get women that's trying to argue back with you. Like, I don't need that. I don't want that. Like, I don't need nobody trying to argue with me. Like, if you have a valid point, state your point. I'll listen and everything. But at the end of the day, if a man is supposed to lead, you need to let him lead. And if you feel like he can't lead you, then you shouldn't be with him. You shouldn't be with a man that you don't believe can lead you or lead your children. So when these women say, "Oh, I haven't found a man that I can trust like that," then why are you getting in these relationships with men that you can't trust to lead you? Make it make sense. I tell you, at my age now, I'm not going to get in a relationship with a woman that doesn't add value to me. Why? That speaks more to me than it even does her. That says that I'm not healthy. If I'm picking these toxic women to be with, or if it speaks to my insecurities, if I feel like I need some trophy girl on my arm, I don't need no great looking girl. I look good. Like, who cares if I'm with a girl who's mid, if I'm with a girl who's ugly? What business is that, to anybody else? I don't care. All I know is what she does for me. What are you doing for me? How are you adding value to my life? And it all falls back to serving one another. Women have gotten to in this stage of just serving themselves. How can I best serve myself? How can I use this man for all his resources? How can I get what I want out of this guy so I can live a comfortable, fluffy life? So when you focus on serving your partner, when your mind is on serving each other, you're going to add value to each other. You're going to pour into each other because you're putting them first. You're putting them ahead of you. And that's how it should be. Both of you guys should be putting each other first. How can I serve you best? How can she serve me best? When you focus on serving one another, that's how you have those great relationships. That is a partner you can be with for the long haul. But yeah, I'm not picking on you women. I'm not trying to pick on the ladies out there. I'm just trying to give information as to why men aren't committing today, or men are not committing to the idea of a relationship. And it's because women have gone so far away from what they were designed to do, who they were designed to be. And I'm not saying that all men are fulfilling their role either. I'm talking in generalities. Not all men are being providers, keeping you safe, protecting you. I know all men are not doing that. But on a whole, society still looks at men to provide in that sense. We don't have the opportunity to be like, we don't have the capabilities to be like, I'm not going to provide. I'm not going to keep you safe. Imagine if men did that, where women feel like it's an insult for you to think that she should be cooking today. What if I thought it was an insult that you thought I should be providing or keeping you safe? Like, nah, shawty, keep yourself safe. Don't look at me. If a man comes in with a gun or something like that, don't look at me to jump in front of that bullet. Protect yourself. Vest up. You know what I mean? So we don't have that privilege of being able to not do the duties of our role. We have to still do our duties. And I just want women to understand that they should also be still focused on doing their duties and still being the nurturers and the women that take care of the kitchen, take care of the home. There's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't make you less of a woman. It doesn't mean that you can't do the things that men can do. Don't let feminism corrupt you. You know, all of this is also biblical. These are positions that we're supposed to play because it creates harmony within a family unit. It's harmonious when we all have roles that that are obligated to us. But you know, I thank you guys, for always listening to me rant, talk about my thoughts and some of my experiences. If you like my content, man, please subscribe. Don't just watch the videos. I know some people just be watching and will not subscribe. I thank you for watching all the time, but please, man, just subscribe. Click the little button down below. Subscribe. That's all you got to do. It's free. But I thank you for, giving me some of your time. You could have been spending that time anywhere else in this world, but you chose it to spend it with me. So I appreciate you guys for that. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. I'm out.